first in this American Legion World Series championship game. And starting pitcher for South Carolina is the left-hander Tristan Smaltz.
Smaltz, 1-0 in the regionals and the World Series with an ERA of 1.12. He's had 3 appearances, 8 innings pitched, given up 7 hits, 1 run. It's an earned run. He's walked 5, struck out 7. Now, he threw against Louisiana in the opening game. He threw in the first game 3 innings with no runs given up when they played Louisiana the other day. Smaltz throws, not a hard thrower, 80-81, throws a curveball, and here's what I also love, he throws a knuckleball. I'm anxious to see this.
Nick Ray, third baseman, to lead it off. Ray, a youngster, only 16 years old, rising junior in high school. Great athlete. Started at shortstop last night. Smaltz falls behind here early, 2-0. Ray did have a hit last night in Louisiana's win over New Jersey. Yeah, a lot of folks have made the trip, want to say hello. Folks back home. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the game against South Carolina that Louisiana won, Ray had a great day. He was 3 for 5. And starts off here with a base hit. He likes South Carolina pitching. And that'll bring up Brandon Briglio. His coach Joe Latino says he's a real steady player. Going to be a senior in high school this year, but it's already committed to play college baseball at Florida International. All of these players on this Louisiana team play for Jesuit High School in the center of New Orleans. And their coach, Joe Latino, is the coach of that Jesuit team. Nick Ray at first as Louisiana trying to answer here in the bottom of the first inning. Briglio had a good night last night. He was 2 for 4.
Yep.
Right to the shortstop. Hawkins bobbles it. Good job by Hawkins staying with it to get the out at first.
Yeah, that was a tough play. He had to come in quickly. It was a short hop to him. But what he did right here, Mike, is he got in front of it. Watch this. He steadied himself, kept it in front of him, was able to make the play on the speedy Briglio.
We had some significant rain today, but the infield was covered with a tarp. And all these players have said all week that infield is really, really hard. And that ball will really bounce high. Ben Hess will step in now, the right fielder. And boy, has he had a World Series here in Shelby. What a lift it would be, Jim Darby, if Louisiana able to get a run and put an answer on the board here in the first inning.
Oh, from an emotional lift, you bet it would. As likewise, it'd be an emotional lift for a shutdown inning by Tristan Smaltz.
You saw there on the screen that Hess has the best batting average of anybody who has played here this week. He hit .500 during the high school season last spring. Good pitch across for a strike.
You know, I had mentioned that Smaltz doesn't throw real hard, only 80, 81. But when you throw a changeup or a curveball that's only 66 to 68, it makes that fastball look like it's 90.
That's going to get through for a base hit. Ray is being waved around, and with his speed, he will score. And Louisiana has come up with an answer. Safe down at second is Hess. And an emotional lift for Louisiana, definitely here in the bottom of the first. Base hit and an RBI for Hess.
Well, with the speedy runner at second base, it's just a seeing eye ground ball that went between third and short. Now here's a big mistake. You can see it again here. Here comes the runner around, and he'll come in and score. Here's the mistake, though. The ball went all the way through. They didn't cut it off, allowing Hess to get into scoring position at second base.
Now here's the hero from last night, Trent Forshag. Forshag had made 2 throwing errors last night that were very costly. And then he comes up in the 10th and gets that game-winning hit. Both pitchers with a little bit of a shaky start. I imagine that nerves play a little bit of role in this. I mean, this is a packed house. These young men all week say they've never played in front of this many people. And this game, of course, for the World Series title.
And that pitch was only 76, but I'll tell you, to Trent Forshag, it looked a lot faster than that because he hadn't seen anything above 66 before that.
Look at that crowd. This the permanent home of the World Series. Fouled it off. Forshag at the plate. He is headed this year to LSU. He's going to be what they refer to as a preferred walk-on, which means he's going to be on the team as a freshman. Not a bad place to play baseball.
I was going to say, that's about as good as it gets.
Popped him up. Having to run a long way, but making the catch, Zach Ziesing, the right fielder. Check out that South Carolina defense. Kivas Burton, Danton Hyman, and Zach Ziesing in the outfield. Landon Allison, Justin Hawkins, the shortstop. Peyton Spangler at second. Ryan Stoudemire at first. And Blake Smith is catching tonight. Scott Crabtree, the left fielder, the batter. Ben Hess down at second. A run already in. We've already had 6 hits in this game. Good stop by the catcher, Blake Smith. You know, Dan Gregory says, we got 2 starting catchers. I'm not going to decide between the 2 of them. He lets them alternate.
Well, he keeps them fresh. They've played a lot of baseball the last 5 days.
Two games ago in the game against Connecticut, Blake Smith actually had to get treated by the EMS people. He was suffering from heat exhaustion.
Well, he played a full game. It's a very hot and humid day here.
Good pitch by Smaltz, counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. And Hess down at second. Rest of the games like this, we're in for a treat, aren't we?
Yeah, this is a good start to this championship game.
Ground ball, Hawkins will field. High throw, but they say that if New Orleans wins this, that Hess is going to be a strong candidate for MVP.
Yep, I agree.
Daniel Edmond, the first baseman, to lead it off, his first at bat. I mentioned this team out of Jesuit High School. They did not have a great start to the season. I talked to Joe Latino, and he says our first 5 games, we were 1-4, and I was really worried. He thought the turning point was a trip they took to Columbia, Tennessee, and played a couple of games, he said, against some really good teams. We kind of found ourselves on that trip, and they've been pretty good ever since.
Well, they're very fortunate that they have the opportunity to play all season long in their high school season and then the opportunity to stay together here.
Well, you see the J on the helmet there? That's one of the Jesuit helmets. This is the exact high school team. Boy, that's a great play by the South Carolina catcher, Blake Smith. He went all the way to the backstop, stayed with it, and he skinned up an elbow.
I'll tell you, these two catchers, Mike, are unbelievable. They know this is the championship game, and they're going all out, and look at that. Boy, he just pulled that off the fence. What a play.
There was Joe Latino, the head coach, who's done such a great job with this New Orleans team. They won it here in 2012. He was the coach. Hayden Fuentes is the batter, the designated hitter.
I think Joe was impressed with that catch too, but I don't think he was too happy about it.
It was Fuentes last night who came in relief, and I thought was a big key to the game for this team from Louisiana.
Well, all the low-scoring games, these kids are doing a great job just pounding the strike zone. Fuentes is one of them.
Fuentes did not have a hit last night. He was 0 for 3. But in the win over South Carolina, different story. He was 2 for 3 in that game. He ripped it. Scored a run, had an RBI. Swing and a miss there.
You know, Mike, we said all along, there aren't too many pitchers in this tournament that throw real hard, but I've been really impressed with their knowledge of how to pitch. Ball on the inside, outside, up, down. That was a good pitch, just right a little bit off the plate for ball 4, but again, you can see while he's nibbling the corner.
First walk of the game. Galley is the batter, the shortstop. An interesting story. He hadn't played in a while before the World Series. He came down with mono, which is a reason he's been DHing most of the time. He's an excellent fielding shortstop. And I would think with the World Series championship on the line, he talked his way into the lineup, I'm sure.
There's no way he's not going to play here. This is too good of an opportunity. Too much fun. I'll tell you, when I looked down at Galley, he fouled that one off his foot, and for any of you people who have ever done that, you know that really smarts. You have to walk that one off a little bit. He's gritting his teeth right now. One thing, when I look at Galley, though, Mike, I tell you, it's like a deja vu. I feel like I'm looking at Bucky Dent. You know, he just
that's an impressive comparison.
Well, the way he wears his socks, the way he wears his uniform, and I'll tell you, he's got an awfully strong arm at shortstop, just like Bucky Dent did. That foot is still bothering him as he's trying to hop it off, walk it off.
Count a ball and 2 strikes to him. Fuentes on at first after walking. You see that light blue and what looked like NC, the North Carolina logo? South Carolina guys will tell you that's CN for Chapin Newberry.
You can hear the South Carolina fans groan. They wanted strike 3, but that ball curved around the plate. It was caught on the outside corner, but it's not where you catch it. It's where it goes over the plate.
Called strike 3. Good pitch by Smaltz, his first strikeout.
That was a great pitch because the pitch, he had him set up for that, Mike. The pitch before was a breaking ball outside where he had Galley leaning. That time it was the breaking ball that started out in the middle of the plate and then bore in on the inside.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Harrison Dast. Interesting, we got to meet Harrison Daff's mother, who came to the press box to say hi. Said she is the team mom. Which must be quite the responsibility. Dast has not hit the ball well, but he's had a propensity to get on base. Walked twice last night.
And also got on an error. You know, number 9 hitters sometimes are the toughest to get out because they won't swing at a lot of bad pitches. They're not normally swinging really hard, so they make the pitcher really work.
Across the inside corner, 2-1 to count to Harrison Dast, who was officially 0 for 2 last night. Now, against South Carolina a couple of days ago, he did have a hit and he did score a run. Big part of that 5-2 win.
That was a pitcher's strike right there, that breaking ball. It looked like it was a little bit off the plate and broke in where it was caught, but hey, a good pitch. He'll take the strike.
High to throw. Ooh. That was a high throw down to first base by Blake Smith.
The 20s will be running on this pitch.
Outside, ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning issued by Smaltz. Friday, 24 of the nation's best high school basketball players showcase their gravity-defying skills in the Under Armour Slam Dunk Contest. Then on Saturday, they leave it all on the court with the Under Armour Elite 24 game. Under Armour Elite 24, Friday and Saturday at 7 on ESPNU and watch ESPN.
There's Nicholas Ray, the leadoff hitter, who comes up now with 2 outs and runners on first and second. It's a quick trip to the mound by Daniel Gregory. You know, Coach Gregory told me he was hoping to get 5 or 6 innings out of Tristan Smaltz and then turn it over to the bullpen.
Nick Ray, base hit. He has scored the Louisiana run in the first inning.
You know, sometimes when you have a soft tosser, Mike, the toughest thing to do for a hitter is to keep your weight back. It's like almost playing slow pitch softball.
A look into the Louisiana dugout. Everybody here on these two teams excited about playing in this game. Lifted to right, drifting back, making the play. Zach Ziesing, third out of the inning. Lead it off. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Spangler makes the catch. The 2015 college football season is almost here. Get the latest news, analysis, and updates from our panel of experts to get you ready for kickoff. College Football Daily, the Blitz, weekdays at 5:30 p.m. on ESPNU and also live on Watch ESPN. Ben Hess, the batter. Base hit that drove in a run his last time up. Allison fields. 2 down. Tristan Smaltz has allowed 2 hits for Louisiana. Trent Farshag is the batter. Both these catchers have skinned up their arms a little bit. Diving for foul balls, running into the wall.
That's what you expect catchers to do. What do they call it? The suit of iron?
Absolutely. There's a strike. You saw a moment ago the jersey of Farshag said Retief on it. If you're wondering what that has to do with Louisiana, it's Retief Oil. The Retief family sponsors this team. And Joe Latino says he certainly appreciates what they do. So that's the explanation of why the Retief is on the jersey. And the count is full now to Trent Forshag. Lost him. Third walk today issued by Tristan Smaltz. This one with 2 outs.
Smaltz was on his way to a quick inning.
You're right.
First 2 outs on 3 pitches. Now he's going to have to work a little bit harder to get that third out.
Scott Crabtree, the left fielder, the batter. We've seen a number of teams do a lot of damage with 2 outs this week in this World Series.
Yes, we have. Well, sometimes the pitchers relax a little bit. They don't stay focused when they get that second out, and it comes back to haunt them. That's a good look at the knuckleball right there. That's a pitch I would doubt the Louisiana hitters have seen too much of.
Missed there, 2-1.
Think how many guys in the big leagues throw knuckleballs? Not many.
And you know who the knuckleball is hardest on? It's the guy behind the dish.
Both of them.
Outside corner. Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Forshag on at first base for Louisiana. Called strike 3. Second strikeout of the day, and that